Hubert, how much have you re-emphasized free throw shooting the last few days with how much success y'all have had in that area this season?
That's something I emphasize. In what particular area in terms of getting to the free throw
y'all
line?
coming off 11 attempts at Cuse.
Yeah, no, it's 4 out of the last 5 games we've taken more threes than free throws. That's just not going to work. That's something that I emphasize every day, whether it's practice or a game. That we want to dominate points in the paint through post penetration, offensive rebound. We want to live in the paint, live at the free throw line, and so. For us, we've gotten to the free throw line more than anybody in the ACC because of our persistence to attack the basket and get to the paint. That's a big key for us offensively, and it's a big key for us in our success. And so that's something that has to change and we have to get back to.
Jalen Withers went through a stretch where he was getting increased minutes in the beginning of January and was pretty productive. His time since has dropped. The other night he actually had a little bit of production. What does he have to do to get back to the kind of minutes he was getting in the early part of January?
Well, I mean, Jay Witt has just continued to get better. He had a really good practice yesterday. His ability, versatility on both ends of the floor is something that is just needed. His ability to guard multiple positions defensively because of his length and his athleticism, rebounding, being able to run the floor. From an offensive standpoint, I love the way that he cuts and attacks the basket and, his athletic finishes. And it's just something that we need. And I'm very happy with Jay Witt and look for him to be on the floor a lot.
And more specifically, what does he have to do to get more time than he's gotten in the last 6 or 7 games?
Well, everybody, we all compete during practice. And, also there's, game type situations that, foul trouble and other things that lead to different lineups out there. I think one of the things that I love about this group is when your number is called, they've been ready. And I've said that, you don't know when, where, how, and the manner in which your number will be called, but when it's called, your job and your responsibility is to be ready. And every time any one of the guys' numbers have been called, they've been ready, including Jay Witt all season.
Hubert, what do you attribute some of the last couple of games, even the games you won, like at Miami, your finishes weren't the greatest?
Finishes around the basket?
Finishes down the stretch of the game.
Down the stretch, yeah.
Yeah. What do you attribute that to? Do you think, it's a long season, there's challenges everywhere in the schedule. Do you think some of that may be fatigue? There's been a lot of travel, a lot of games. Do you attribute some of those not the greatest finishes to games to maybe some tired legs?
Well, I think, it is a long season. And, one of the things that I've told them that, you have to enjoy how hard it is to individually and as a team to be successful. If it was easy, everybody would do it. And, you've got travel, you've got classes, you've got practice, you've got games, there's a number of things going on. To me, those are factors, but it's not a factor of down the stretch being able to execute what you need to do on both ends of the floor. Just because we traveled to Miami and to Syracuse doesn't stop us from boxing out and talking on defense and, taking care of the basketball, getting to the free throw line, making free throws. I don't think those contribute at all. I think just down the stretch, in some games over the last couple of weeks, the discipline and the details, the little small things that you have to have consistently in order to finish games, just hasn't been there. And that's something that we have to return to.
So those have been more like an individual basis, game by game, as opposed to maybe a common thread linking.
I would think so. I do, yeah.
Hubert, aside from experience, what stands out to you about Virginia Tech's guard tandem?
There's a number of things. They're terrific players, experienced. It's not just their ability to be able to shoot and score, but they're basketball players. The way that they distribute, handle the basketball, set screens. They've been successful throughout their career because they check a number of the boxes. They're also impactful on the defensive end, and the way that they, how hard they play on every possession on both ends of the floor is something that that they've consistently done throughout their career, and that's why they're accomplished players.
Hubert, obviously Syracuse shot it at a really high clip. I guess when you you kind of look at the film and kind of reviewed things and things like that, was there anything in particular you thought could have been, I guess, sharper on the defensive? I think
Yeah.
some guys mentioned ball screen coverage or whatever. Like, what did you kind of notice?
No, we just weren't. In regards to Syracuse, they just didn't feel us on the defensive end. Our presence on the ball wasn't good. It wasn't impactful. They were catching the ball where they wanted to. They were able to. They took it to us in the lane, and they've got athletic and big guards. But I just felt like in order to play defense, you have to have a defensive presence, a physical presence, whether on the ball or off the ball. And just, for most of the game, we didn't have that. And that's something that I think we've consistently done throughout the year, that something that we have to get back to, because, our success this year, and our guys clearly understand and know this, it starts with defense. And then it goes to rebounding, and then it goes to taking care of the basketball. And then if you can check those three boxes, the offense will take care of itself. And I feel like offensively, we can score, but it's got to start with us defensively.
Adding to what Adam was asking about late game, the Clemson game, you guys tied it at 70 and then turned it over the next 3 possessions.
Yeah.
The other night, you had the ball down 4 late and then had 4 turnovers over the last couple of minutes. How do you address that? How do you fix what needs fixing in those situations when it's not been 1 possession, but it's been multiple possessions?
Well, I mean, I think there's a number of things. One, I always say, and got this from Coach Smith, a mistake is good when you recognize it, admit it, learn from it, and grow from it. And so, being able to watch tape and being able to see it, address it, talk about it, be able to practice it, and practice every day. Every time that we practice a 3-minute down the stretch in different situations, and getting them to understand how important it is, not just in the last minutes of the game, but the entire game, but specifically the last 3 or 4 minutes, how important it is to not have those turnovers, not have a missed box out, not have a late shot clock foul where you're putting them on a free throw line, just getting loose balls, not getting the ball taken from you, just different stuff like that, and how that plays a part in our success, and also highlighting where we have done that and how it has contributed to our success this year. So being able to see it from both sides, and hopeful that we can learn from it and understand it and grow from it.
Hubert, what is the mood like around the team? Does it seem like they put the Syracuse loss behind them and are sort of mentally over it?
I don't know in terms of a mood. I mean, we play Virginia Tech tomorrow. Our eyes are on Virginia Tech, and so as I said before, and I've said this a number of times, whether something good or happens or bad happens, it's how you react and how you respond. So I mean, you have a choice to, if something doesn't go your way, you can whine and complain, make excuses, point fingers, look back, or you can get back up and move forward and join the fight. And so this group has always done that, and that's what we'll do tomorrow.
Hubert, what do you see from Tyler Nickel when you turn on the Virginia Tech film compared to when you saw him in the UNC uniform? Like, what kind of player has he become this season, do you think?
Well, I mean, just, the film that I've only seen is in preparation to Virginia Tech, and, I'm very proud of T. Nick and, his success that he's had at Virginia Tech, and that's something that really brings me joy to my heart. I want every kid to have an unbelievable college experience, and I'm glad that he's having a really good year for him.
Hubert, I have an offense question, sort of a big picture about how offenses are evolving in college, at the college level. You played under one Hall of Famer, and then you returned to the game many years later to the college level under another Hall of Famer. How different does the game feel in terms of sophistication in the way you're defending offenses and what you see from opposing offenses, night in and night out?
Well, I mean, the game is completely different. I mean, when I was here at Carolina or in the NBA, you had 2 big bigs and you threw the ball into the post, and then they threw it back out to me, and my job was to throw it right back into the post. And if they threw it back out to me, and it was late shot clock, maybe I could shoot to three, you know, and I can't remember a time here at Carolina when I played that we ever talked about ball screen defense, DHO, Chicago action, delay, zoom. I never talked about that. Only thing we talked about was screens and post play. So things are different and have evolved, and it's important to stick to the foundation of as a player and as a program of who you are and what allows you to be successful. But it's also important to change and to tweak and to pivot and to alter to way basketball is being played, and it is being played differently. But at the end of the day, you got to defend, you got to rebound, you got to take care of the basketball. So it doesn't matter if you've got DHOs and ball screens and Spain actions and rubs and all kinds of stuff. Can you defend? Can you rebound? Can you take care of the basketball? Can you make free throws? And can you shoot? It is what it is. So it may come from different directions, but basketball is basketball.
Yeah, just one follow-up then, like, I don't know, is there only so many ways to set a ball screen? You know what I mean? Like, there's pivots and everything you can do off of things, right? But do the plays themselves change that significantly, or is it like the concepts are the same and then you tweak to evolve, or how, you know what I mean? Like, there's a balance there.
Well, I mean, I do. I think concepts are the same, but I think the players are different. I mean, I don't remember a time where J.R. Reed was picking and popping for three, and Coach Smith was like, "Good shot." I just don't remember that.
Doesn't sound right. Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't sound right. I don't remember that. I don't remember a secondary play where we did zoom action and kickback and DHOs. Coach Smith didn't teach us that one. So those are, I mean, the concepts are the same, but I think players are different now. I mean, you've got guards that can post up. You've got bigs that can play on the perimeter and very good with the ball in terms of passing and being able to make plays, and bigs that can shoot threes, and the players are different.
JR shooting a three, that's a visual.
It really is.
That's a visual. The visual will be seeing going over to see Coach Smith's face after that one. And JR was first team All-American.
Speaking of threes, Cormac has struggled shooting the perimeter shot, and you said, I think last week you asked, sometimes guy just sees one go through and then more can follow. He saw four go through the other night. How big was that for him to see those four go through? And do you think that could be a fork in the road game that maybe he approaches, maybe isn't affected psychologically with the shots like some guys are?
Well, I do think, it's important to see the ball go in, and that, gives you confidence. And you're right, Cormac, hit 4 threes and had success shooting the ball from the perimeter. Cormac's always been, a really confident player. And, one of the things that I've said this before, not just I just stick up for him, but for anybody. He's a basketball player. I know I get questions about shooting, but his value to the team is so much more than just shooting the basketball. I mean, the reason that I wanted him at Carolina is because I wanted him the player, not just a shooter. And I'm sensitive to that because, during my career, people would say shooter, and I always wanted to be somebody that, that I can do other things. And Cormac brings so much to the table. He has so much in the bag in terms of his leadership, defense, toughness, passing, shooting, other things that he brings to the table that has been of great value to us and allowed us to be successful this year.
Have time for a few more.
Hubert, the other night when Syracuse went into that zone, you guys actually had Elliott like kind of in the middle there. He got a few assists out of there as well.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah. Not every day you see a guard in the middle of a zone, I guess. But what did you guys see there that you liked to where you kind of put him in that?
Well, I mean, he's gifted in terms of distributing, and that when you against a zone, that's a playmaking position to be. And so, that being said, it'd be nice to have a really good playmaker in that spot. And so, putting him there in the middle of the zone just allowed our shooters to be able to be spaced. Armando to work around the basket, from short corner to short corner, and I felt like we got good shots with Elliott in the middle there.
Hubert, in terms of like stated team goals that you guys have when you start a season, I haven't even cracked a
You
joke
haven't even
yet.
hit the punchline yet.
I realize that's
On February 17th, we want to be 11-3 in ACC and,
right. Okay,
and
let me
19-6.
tweet that real quick.
We put that on the wall in August.
What I'm saying is an ACC regular season title one of those stated team goals?
That's important.
It's
It's important.
that you said.
It's important.
And
It's
you know, it
important.
looks like it's going to be a close finish coming down the stretch.
It's important. It means something.
Yeah.
It means something to us. It means something to this program. And I let the guys know that. It's been since 2019, since I think we were co-champions with Virginia. It's the last
Correct.
time that regular season, and
17 was your outright.
17 was outright Coach Page's senior year, and it means something. It means a great deal to us. And one of the things that I told the guys is to there's two things. One, you have to know where you are, and so I let them know where we were in terms of 19-6, and we're currently, as this moment, still first place in the ACC at 11-3, and so let them know where we are, but also what we're fighting for. And that means a great deal to me and a great deal to us in terms of having an opportunity and a chance to compete for a regular season ACC title.
Time for one more.
Did you have to reinforce that after the losses to Syracuse and Clemson to let them know just because you guys were in the position that you were in going into February, you still got to go out here and earn it?
No, I mean, it's not reinforced. I mean, you know, as experienced as our group is, they've never been in this position before. Armando and RJ had never been in this position before. In mid-February, first place in ACC. Cormac and Harrison and James and Pax, they never been in this position before. So, you know, every day to get them to understand what's at stake, what is real, and what's important, and when it's time to go. You guys are trying to get me fired up here.
Go ahead with it. Then.
No, but I can. But the bad part about it is I'm 53 and I can't play. But this means something, a great deal, and they know it.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.
Thank you.